Yeah, 28 grams of moss, 28 grams of moss. Little people the kings, little people the kings. Y'all ain't ready for this, y'all ain't ready for this. Yeah, I'm the champion, I'm the champion, I'm the champion, don't know why you cats wanna wait to beat with the sleep just to give you cats a chance to eat. What you got for early didn't finish the plate. Now that I'm back, you rap cats are gonna have to wait. Been gone a whole year, still nobody got the leadership or the heart to even feel my spot. I'm the champion, must I say it again? The best in this rap game and I continue to win. See, I'm allergic to that, losing makes me sneeze. That's like you phony rap cat, about to make me squeeze. Bring your whole crew, nigga, I'ma swallow that. So when it pops off, ASC is on a holler back. It's 28 grams, nigga. I've been running this shit. So anything in front of me can fuck around and get hit. I followed you rap cats, so you niggas my sons and I'm the truth. Why? Cause I'm the motherfucking champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. Still rep the A&T, but I carry my throne. God bless every child that can hold it home. And I am that child, as you niggas can see. Cause ain't another rapper out there better than me. And this goes to anybody trying to steal my spot. I'm number one in this shit, so number one you got. So when you gas scream, y'all is the best, I laugh. Like really, you cats don't really know the how. You do the math, and that's yourself who really great. Then add it up and watch it equal up to 28. So that's the damn cat know who really the done. I'm overall, I let you niggas fight for number one. See, I put that on my life, put that on my son. Gotta stay the best of people licking Trey Lund. And my throne on the key, you can put that on my heart and I'm the God. Cause I'm the motherfucking champion.
Legacy Unlocked. When you're locked out of your vehicle, can't get in your car, call Legacy. Serving West Palm Beach and surrounding cities. That's area code 229-630-7615. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you been denied disability, Social Security, or custodianship of your children? Call Antonio Williams. He has the knowledge and experience to fight the government on your behalf. Let him represent you. That's Antonio Williams, your non-legal attorney consultant.
Just-in-time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at www.justintimeaccessories. Just in Time Accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Check it out. Just in Time Accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at
Good evening. Get in here. Boy, do we have a show for you tonight. Get in here. Call your friends, your family, your neighbors, your boy toy, your girlfriend, your piece for the evening. Get in here. Join me. Welcome to the ATL show, brought to you by The Anthony Brown Show, here on Facebook and YouTube Live. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. It costs absolutely nothing to subscribe. It's free. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and click the bell. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, which is the like button. It lets YouTube know that you enjoy what's going on over here. And then they will then share our material with other people with similar interests. And of course, comment below. And when you comment below, we will read your comments live on the air and respond accordingly. And of course, they say sharing is caring. So go ahead and click that share button and share this link on your social media so that your friends and family can come and see what all the craziness is about over here. So come on, get in here, get in here, get in here. I am joined tonight by none other than my sister, Tyson's mama, Miss Light Bright herself, Miss Tiana Sweetness.
Hello, everybody. I was late. It is my family reunion. So I am with my family, and we're all at my house. So we're doing the day before is at my house. And baby, I totally forgot.
You didn't tell me? I'm supposed to be there getting me a plate.
There go one niece. There go Wickalicious.
Make me a
Cousin.
plate.
I got you. Even though you could come.
Yes, God.
And then I'm going down and y'all will see the whole crew.
Okay. And I'm
So
also joined by my brother from another, Mr. Superman with S all over his chest. He feeling himself all over his body. Mr. Legacy the Great.
What it is, baby, what it is.
Hey, Legacy, welcome to the show.
it's screaming loud.
Good.
Yes, yes. We had to go find some plump, juicy cakes. And Duncan Hines didn't have them, neither did Sarah Lee. But guess what? I found them.
Hey everybody! Look, I'm back here talking. Put me in the show. Put me in the show. I don't want to meet Tama family. How y'all doing?
We
We're
doing
doing
great,
great.
great, great.
So Tam, you having a family reunion? You didn't call us, so we're not part of the family no more.
Yeah, you're a part of the family. It's a family reunion. And for the record, everybody wasn't supposed to be at my house. It wound up coming to my house when I didn't, I'm bougie. I don't like being in the sun. So that was the great idea. I got room. Come on.
Okay. Of course, you got room. You got 19 floors and a basement.
Yeah. So
You the family reunion mansion.
You heard me, Tam.
hey.
You got 19 floors and a basement.
Well, hey, look, all funded by the ATL show.
Look,
Get like us.
but unfortunately, it ain't big as Don Allen house, though.
Boom.
That's what Don Allen said. His house is bigger than your house.
He can have it.
Oh. So how we doing this evening, everybody?
I'm in Target, so I'm gonna have my phone mute for a little bit, but I'm here.
You in Target?
When do Juicy really ever be home when the show starts?
Shade.
I have to use every second of my time wisely, and so I'm heading home.
I just want to remind everybody very briefly that unfortunately, I hope I didn't disappoint anyone. But tonight's topic was originally let's talk about business and personal credit, American Express, banks versus credit unions. There was a cancellation at the last minute. Our guest speaker, Ms. Starr Carter, had to back out. There was a misunderstanding, and unfortunately, but she had to back out. So she won't be able to be with us this evening. So perhaps we'll be able to reschedule her for another event or another show at a future date, hopefully in the near future. So at the last minute, we had to change the topics, and thanks to Mr. Little Big Man Legacy with his ideas, but he saved the day.
I always do.
He saved the day. So I got we see you, Superman.
Superman ain't got nothing on him.
That girl crazy.
Just want to share with you guys what's going on in the news today. Well, congratulations to Jay-Z's mom and her long-term love time partner. They finally tied the knots. They had a star-studded engagement and marriage relationship, and congratulations to them. They're married now and no longer dating or shacking up, as the black folks say. They are officially we's married now. Jay-Z's mom and her partner. So congratulations to them.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Yes. Legacy over there hating.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if some commentary gonna come with this. What's the look about, man?
I'm not even opening this can of worm today. I'm not.
Let me find a can. Come on, bring it. That's what
we got Juicy in the streets today. I see Juicy in the streets.
Okay.
Right, finding them cans for you to open. Come on.
Yes.
It's orangey too.
You see how everybody? You see how Juicy just over there? Oh, you see Legacy face? Oh, I know he got something to say. I know he got.
And why the hell not?
Listen, Jay-Z is almost 70-something himself. And his 92-year-old mama will get married. Sit your old ass down.
You're never too old to find love.
You are you're too old to do it. You're too old to do it.
But they've been together for a long time.
Too old to do it. They're common law married.
Stop hating.
Well, my thought was, I'm with you too, Legacy. I was wondering if they've been together for all those years, why now?
Because it's a publicity. Listen,
and that's where
Let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you what's happening. Because see, Tony like to post stuff, but don't like to go dig in the trash, because it's some fucking trash of why they putting this up right now.
So right Tony, now, you gotta get juicy with it.
You know it, but that's what he want me to do, because he just want to. It ain't that damn serious. One,
you just sound like a whole hater.
I'm gonna tell you what. Let me tell you what this is about. If anybody been watching anything, social media, anything, right now Jay-Z is almost under indictment for the same shit that R. Kelly was doing, but they done went back and picked him, get ready to pick his ass up on charges of when he was dealing with Aaliyah, or when he was dealing with Foxy Brown, and there's another 17-year-old girl from back then that's coming out talking about this shit now. So right now,
they need to get all of them. Biggie, Russell Simmons, all of them.
Well, get them.
We need to keep naming. We need to get all of them.
Yes, because all of them. And guess what? If Kamara Simmons was 17, 14, 13, 10, 16 when she was dealing with Russell Simmons, lock all them young asses up too that participated in the act, because it wasn't that they didn't know that they wasn't supposed to be messing with these older guys. Because I keep trying to tell y'all, until the law changes to where when the young person, whether it's a male or a female, is prosecuted to knowing that they lied about their age or telling the truth, and they still indulge in the act that's criminal, then guess what? This is gonna continue.
Oh, I actually was wanting to talk with you. It's so good.
Hi, family.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you all, family?
What's going on, Donald?
Did you see what we just posted about the latest news with Jay-Z and his mom? That's what we're talking about. Yes, she got married.
She got married to her long-term partner.
She's got a what?
She got a long-term partner. She just got married.
She got a hip replacement.
Gloria Carter, mother of Jay-Z, tied
They
the knot with the
beautiful
longtime
together.
partner, Roxanne Wilshire.
Okay. So y'all want me to tell y'all? Okay. Nuh-uh. Donovan, stop.
See, come on now. That's why I said, tell us what. Yes, we want you to tell us. Tell us what
Oh
you
my
think
goodness.
about that.
All right. We're on the ATL show live right now. And thank you for my sisters and brothers. Let me tell you all something. It's an illusion of a real big picture that is actually happening right now as we speak. Okay. Those are illusions that we're seeing in the media. Okay. The moment they post something to give recognition of something else,
They're
there's
hiding
something.
something else.
There you go.
I
Okay.
keep trying to tell him.
There you go.
I
There you
just been
go.
telling him.
Now, I know that I'm on the totem pole, okay? And I'm all right with saying that, okay? Because they won't come after me, okay? That's like Jamie Foxx ending up sick after he brought Sean Combs out,
Yep.
okay? And we're not allowed to call him Sean. No, we're calling him Sean. We're not calling him P. Diddy because there's a mask behind P. Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's call him Sean. Because
That
maybe
what
if he's
his
called,
mama named him.
hey, that's what his mama calls him. The people that's close to his heart calls him Sean. Maybe we need to start calling him Sean so he'll act as if he's Sean Combs and not behind the mask of P. Diddy.
What you say? Put a
So,
little respect to his name.
yeah, yeah. If it's not true, then we don't have to be entertaining something. Okay? Entertainment is something that's an illusion to make people to talk about it as if it's true or as if something actually is happening behind the scenes that we don't really know. Okay? So we're talking about Jay-Z's mom tying the knot.
And she 83.
And you know what?
We
We
don't know
don't
how
even
old she is.
we don't even know what wonderful stuff she's been doing behind the scenes because they're just now talking about her tying the knot. So the illusion of that, and I was just talking about Beyonce's and Jay-Z's marriage is really not a marriage, okay? Because you see a couple that's never really together unless it's entertainment purposes. You
Yep.
see the kids talked about as just kids, not our children, okay? You see a family's supposed to be together, okay? Close knitted. When we have an event, everyone's going to that event, okay? Not just going to an occasion with kids, not just going to an occasion with Beyonce and Jay-Z. It's never, Jay-Z is going with his wife and their children to a ball game. It's always Jay-Z's got kids with him by the name of so and so. So it's almost like it's a business. All right? And you all know what happens when you run and conduct a business with kids and a so-called wife. It's politics being involved. Okay? Like we had Bishop T.D. Jakes. Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right. Like we had Bishop T.D. Jakes collaborating with Tyler Perry, okay, to buy property. Okay? It's an illusion of what's actually going on. We have Coca-Cola. No disrespect to Bishop T.D. Jakes. All right? We have Coca-Cola partnering with Bishop T.D. Jakes with not woman thou art loose, woman evolve. Okay?
Mm.
When do we ever have a Coca-Cola company partnering with a preacher that's preaching righteous living?
Oh, but we can talk about that Coca-Cola company.
Hey, you go to
Don't start,
Atlanta.
Juicy.
Let's go to Atlanta and you'll hear them call it Coke for a reason. Okay? They say
Mm.
Coke, the world of Coke. You go visit Coke organization, you'll hear they don't call it Coca-Cola, they call it Coke.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say there's Coke, y'all. I rest my case. I'm going to turn it back over. I'll be right back.
Okay. Thank you, Donovan. Also in the news. Also in the news. Subway. Subway has changed, and they're going to now start cutting their meat fresh on a meat cutter in front of you, as opposed to having the meat already pre-cut sitting in a cooler in front of you. So now when you go in and get your deli subs or your deli sandwiches from Subway, and ask for, let's say, a cold cut sub or ham and cheese sub or whatever, they're gonna cut your meat fresh.
Ain't nobody got time for that. So you gonna be in there way longer now.
That's what that's gonna be.
That's exactly what that's gonna be.
I would rather have my meat cut fresh.
Y'all just hold on. I don't know how to use this cutlery yet, but just bear with me.
And more employees getting their fingers cut, lawsuits, bleeding on your meat.
Well, that happened anyway, y'all. That happened everywhere.
I guess they need to hire professionals.
They called them professionals.
Also in the news,
we already talked about that one.
it just popped up in the news yesterday.
No, we talked about this probably about 3-4 months ago, and we talked about the family that bought the 97 acres of land in Georgia.
This is several families. That's not the one
There's
family.
19 families. We've already had this on the show before.
Well, it just popped up in the news yesterday. It's okay to bring it up again. We can pat them on the back again.
I'm about to say we just gonna big up him one more time because you know what? We need to let people know that unity works.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if
black
19 can do it, we can get together and have 38 people do it. We can keep adding on it because we won't have 97 then we'll end up with
Well,
a
we
whole
sure not better
lot
start.
more.
We sure not better get to getting it because, like Donovan said, these people are partnering up with black millionaires, Coke, Pepsi, Chinese. All these people are partnering up using black people as a front showcase. Oh, the black people are, but behind the scenes, those people are the one that's funding and buying up all of America. Just like a lot of people don't understand that the Chinese have purchased over 37,000 acres of land in the United States.
That part right there. And so if we don't start letting it be known that it's something for sale and we need to be buying it and doing it, we gonna get y'all want y'all 40 acres. It is not gonna be given to you.
But you see that and that's Wyoming. And the reason that land is able to be purchased like that is because right now that's not a booming area. That's not a booming area. So right now you can go to somewhere like Wyoming and Montana and South Dakota and stuff like that, Indiana, and buy out property at cheap rates because it's not, nobody is really wanting to live out there yet. As long as they've been part of the United States, it's almost undeveloped. Yeah, you got power lines and people that do live out there, but it's not like a popping area to live in. And as soon as it do start to be that, that's when you're gonna notice that more and more of the government start to infiltrate those areas and start to try to take stuff. You don't remember when we showed on the show about they had a whole town, like a whole little town city that was for sale, that was for like $1.2 million, and Bootsy was thinking about purchasing it, but he decided not to do it because nobody wanted to come there. Nobody wanted to live there. And I'm talking about the whole town, they had stores and everything. But because nobody wanted to, it wouldn't be popular. So he would have just been buying some land just to say, oh, I purchased some land. A whole town. But you don't remember, like I'm saying, we talked about the 19 families that bought all that. And remember, we showed the video and it was showing how they were trying to, create their own system of how they wanted people to live in their town, and then they started talking about, even though they purchased the land, that the government, if they don't do something pertaining the way that the government wants, then it could be a blockage of how they do things with all those acres of land. So I mean, it don't matter what you do. You can buy all the acres of land and homes that you want to, but that shit is still up. You're still up under the thumb of the people who can say, "Hey, you're not developing this. We're not doing this. You don't own. You can have 10 houses, 10 homes, and some apartment complexes, and you still gonna forever pay taxes on them. You're gonna forever be in debt.
Stop.
So as soon as you don't pay those taxes and you don't pay those things, guess what they do? They don't give you no refund on the money that you done paid them, and they take your shit and auction it off to somebody else who gonna want to pay their taxes.
Wow.
And you also, when you purchase land, you don't purchase the mineral rights. And that's one of the things that they're really getting over on us is we just buying dirt.
Exactly.
We
So
can't even go no deeper than 6 feet.
right, because
We gotta get
if
permission.
it's oil on that property, that don't belong to you.
And they made that happen with all those people striking oil in Georgia that time, thinking they were about to be rich and millionaires.
And then they property clause say they don't own the mineral rights.
Right. However, a lot has been happening in the world behind scenes too when it comes to the mineral rights and property, and soon it's gonna show. I'm telling y'all how BP and all these other oil companies were stealing the property rights to Black families and making billions, trillions off of it, and they get none. And that money's about the transfer of wealth is happening. It's about to flip on them.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait for it.
Don't. Oh, I'm sorry, sis.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just about to add on to what you were saying, and you were probably about to hit the point that I was about to put in. So I'm just going to put some fire on the point that you were probably about to add on. They are making it look like they are the majority, and so to make it look like they are the majority, they're buying up all this property because they know eventually that we are going to be owning all of the property through reparations and through conciliation of our people coming together, because we're finally going to see that we are the majority, and they're trying to extinct us so quick before we realize that we are more powerful than them. Okay. And unfortunately, this comes to when we put up that article. I don't know if you can put it up again, and Tony. I don't know if you can put it up again, brother. But if you look at the location of that article and where it actually is located, okay, we're talking about Wyoming. Who else owns property in Wyoming? You all?
Indians.
Who?
Indians.
Okay, let's talk about someone that's been in the news lately, but has not been able to communicate with us.
Haitians?
Kanye West.
No.
Oh,
yeah,
Kanye West.
Is this his first appearance on me?
Kanye
he owns a lot of property out there?
He owns some property. He owns a ranch out in Wyoming, you all. Okay? So what I'm saying about this is that property that he used to own without people saying anything? Okay? Because check this out, okay? Notice that Kanye West is not talking at all anymore. Notice that lobotomy, I believe it's called, has probably taken over and consumed his body ever since the anti-Semitic attacks came out. And I don't believe it was an attack, it was the reality of a conversation to open up. All right? He used a strategy to get people's attention, and they came back to let's play with his body so he'll never talk again or say anything crazy again.
Well, I remember when I remember following this Kanye West thing, and this doctor from, I want to say Germany, used to be at Kanye. That's who. Remember he said, keep talking this stuff like that, and this time I'm gonna medicate you and make you forget that you even have kids. Kanye had the recording of him saying it. And Kanye said they had him on so much psychosis medicine, medication, that when he was on it, that's how they were able to go about saying that he was crazy, because nobody knew that Kim, her mama, and one other part of his of their family all signed this thing, this contract to have him be committed, because all it takes is two people to have you committed to a psych ward. And at that time, Kanye was talking about running for president and all this type of stuff, and these people did what they had to do, and they got him in there. So right now, it's always about the media makes you and the media breaks you. And Kanye at this moment has been silenced. The only way you really hear from Kanye is if he's on somebody's StreamYard or podcast, but you don't really see or hear Kanye in the media anymore, just like you said, Duncan, because they silence him. They don't want him to awaken other people the way that he has. And anytime you come out of a deep fog or being enlightened about something, they make it seem like you're crazy. Remember, they told Dave Chappelle, when Dave Chappelle made Comedy Central all that money, and they had something where they had a clause where if he make a certain amount of money, that he would get a big portion of it. Well, he over exceeded what they wanted him, what they thought he would make, because he made like 500 million, and so he was supposed to get half of it. But because they didn't expect him to make that much money, they only gave him $50 million and tried to get him to come back. And he was like, hell no, I'm supposed to get more than that. But because Dave Chappelle bucked them and said he don't want to work for him no more, they told Dave Chappelle, hey, by the time you leave this studio and get home, we'll have people thinking you crazy and smoking crack. Dave went home, got his wife, kids packed up, and flew to Africa. By the time Dave Chappelle landed in Africa and got off the plane, Dave said people were saying, you smoke crack in Africa? And he was like, I just left there a few days ago. How the hell that's being said all the way here? They control the media. They control the news. So he who controls the media, the news, and they control how people view you. Because a lot of times people don't understand you are convicted by your peers. By the time you on news, there's no way you can pick a fair and impartial jury when everybody's already, the smear campaign it's on the news every day. They're not on there saying how great you was or you did this and that. No, they're talking about your most dirtiest secrets or lies that they drew up on you. So by the time you go pick 12 jurors for a trial, you've already been found guilty in their mind. So how do you pick a jury of 12 that's going to be impartial and fair?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. And not only that, we're talking about Dave Chappelle. Look how they did Monique. Okay.
Yes.
They try to silence her up. Okay. Yeah, and she's a strong woman of character. And when she says what she says, and maybe all of it is not what it actually is, but there has to be truth to it. Okay? We can't ignore the fact that she just threw it out there and then now we're ignoring it. No, we're not going to ignore it. We're not going to be silent anymore just because the cares of this world and the cares of this media wants to shut it down. And see, when they shut it down, Tyler Perry and Oprah try to come back with this, we can have some class. No, she had enough class. Y'all just didn't want it to be exposed to the media.
They don't want to be exposed.
Yeah. And I believe Oprah was involved in that, in the island of Jeffrey Epstein and all of that. But I rest my case. I'm going to turn it over and yield.
Speaker of the House, I yield.
Okay.
I'm learning how to turn it over, y'all, and yield.
Look, but Legacy tried to jump on that talking about I yield.
Okay.
That's what Donovan saying.
I thought you were saying it too, and I'm like, huh? What happened? Where is Legacy? What has
Juicy.
been done? Oh, thank you. So also in the news today, stop you all. Matula Shakur passed away, and I wanted to bring a moment of silence of peace to him. I wish Don Allen was on here to pray, because he does. But Matula Shakur offered so much to us that they say a liberation movement, but it wasn't a movement. It's an ongoing, so it's not over. And his passing doesn't mean it's ending. But what I am so thankful for him and what he brought to the community was detoxing our people off of heroin. And he's been using acupuncture as a way to help get people from being strung out on drugs, doing better for themselves, not just getting them off of the drug, but changing their life so that they don't even go back to it and they do better. And he served a long time in prison and got out, and he fought a good fight. Since I think he got out in October until now, and he passed away this morning. So, just wanted to do a rest in peace moment of silence.
Listen, oh God, I like this gentleman. I do. Tupac talked highly of him, and I'm a Tupac fanatic. But the only reason he was let loose was because the government didn't want to continue dealing with his medical bill. That's the only reason they let Matulu Shakur free, because of his medical bill, not because he served in because that man was not going to get out of prison. Secondly, it's easy to talk about detoxing someone off of heroin when if you're incarcerated, you eventually will detox yourself when you are incarcerated. But being on the street dealing with that monkey on your back, you ain't gonna hardly find nobody using acupuncture and the things that he was talking about, because
I
the
gotta
streets.
interrupt. I gotta interrupt
Go
because
ahead.
we're not talking about while he was locked up. I'm talking about before he got locked up. And he did cure people off of heroin in New York. Yes. And there is proof, there is documentation. I will send you the documentary so that you can watch it for yourself and see about it. But it's called the ADS Collective, and they have been around for while the Black Panther Party was going on, and they also merged with the Latino community. And so the Latino community has been the one who's been highlighted as the ones who brought the awareness to, but it was Dr. Matula Shakur who actually started the organization and got the detoxing. And they used the pressure points in the ear to detox them off of heroin and the drug use. And that's factual. So all the others that you said, I agree. They let him out because they did not want to continue on his medical bill. They said he had cancer, and he has been out. When he got out, he wasn't doing well at all. I know people who've personally gone to care for him and be by his bedside and help get him to where he is, not deaf
Mm-hmm.
today, but living until today. And he even has, while since he's been out, brought some great changes to bringing things together too as well.
But they sure enough kept him in there a long time.
They kept him in there long. They kept a couple people in there a long time who was a part of the movement, and who have passed while in there. Like they were in there till they died, but they didn't die from ongoing need of constant care. And so at the point of, okay, one, we got to care for him, and our treatment ain't killing him.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't keep continuing on. We got to release him and let him go and let him go on his own. And
Because
that's what
they knew
happened.
then that once he got out, he done been incarcerated too long. Medicaid ain't finna continue to pay for that high price medication like that. And the state just said, you know what, let's just let him go because it's just too much. But I did follow him. He was not as close as you did, Juice, but just Hearing how Tupac talked about him, and him being in the Black Panther movement, it was wonderful. Just being able to see somebody willing to sacrifice their life like that.
Yeah, it's I'm my father used to use heroin. He was not someone who Matul Shakur helped. My father detoxed off of heroin through a lot of Hazelton and rehab 1 second programs. But we are being here in the DC area and having the opportunity to be blessed with meeting other people who were a part of the group with him. I was able to learn up under him a lot, and it's just, we lost someone,
A great leader.
a great leader.
Tony, let's go.
What happened?
Let's go to the next topic.
Hold on.
Nutrition is the key to a healthy, strong body. Therefore, we need to take control of our health. My passion comes from my adversities, and now I'm empowering people to gain control of their health by introducing healthy snacks for life, which is filled with non-toxic high-quality substances derived from nature. It was designed to stop the human consumption of eating unnatural sugars, so they can maintain a healthy lifestyle while snacking. Healthy Snacks for Life is diabetic-friendly, filled with vitamins, minerals, beta-carotene, proteins, fats, and more. It's a balanced alkaline mix that's crunchy, delicious, and nutritious. It's also affordable, combined with nutritional factors that our bodies needs. So do it for yourselves, do it for your children and families, and do it for others. Try Healthy Snacks for Life. Today, you will not regret it.
Pastor June Murder Mysteries by Reverend Lee M. Sapp, Christian fiction for grown folks. The novel series revolves around the day-to-day life of June Harris, pastor of St. Mark Church and former homicide detective. The series exposes the realistic joys and challenges of her life as a pastor and her relationships with family, friends, and community, and how they all intertwine with her gift for solving murder mysteries. Ministry is what she loves. Solving murder is what she does.
Listen, guys, I have two videos to share with you, but the first video here is, the topic is so juicy, unlike juicy cakes. The the topic is so, well, I can say juicy. I'm gonna say it's so just mind blowing to the point where, let me just show the video. Legacy, thanks to Legacy.
Can I say something before you go to the video?
Sure, go ahead.
Because I'm about to get out of the store. And while we were talking about tasty snacks, y'all, this right here, if y'all see it in y'all store, it's watermelon and hibiscus popcorn. It's so good. It's a tasty snack and it's vegan.
Watermelon, hibiscus,
Watermelon and hibiscus.
popcorn.
Yes. Popcorn.
I'm going to try that.
We know you are.
Thank you.
I'll do a review on it. But check this video out.
My God. So as y'all know, Mississippi just passed the Jim Crow law. You know, just history repeating itself. But there's something that y'all don't know. And I need all my people to listen. We gotta wake up. Because it's that time. See, because what y'all don't know is the Jim Crow law is actually associated with the Bible and the curses that was put upon his people. So I want to answer this woman's question.
Hold on. Tiama was not muted, so that's why you couldn't hear. Hold on.
I thought that was part of her. I'm like, why would she put out that great information with
Yeah.
a song
When
to it?
the video starts, it automatically mutes everybody, but Tiama unmuted herself. Hold on, let's try it again.
So run it back.
Hold on, try it again.
My guy. So as y'all know, Mississippi just passed the Jim Crow law. You know, just history repeating itself. But there's something that y'all don't know. And I need all my people to listen. We gotta wake up. Cause it's that time. See, cause what y'all don't know is the Jim Crow law is actually associated with the Bible and the curses that was put upon his people. So I want to answer this woman's question.
I'm so fucking scared. It has just come to my attention because I didn't know about it just until today. In Mississippi, there was just a law passed like 5 days ago that the Jim Crow laws are being reinstated. That shouldn't be happening at all. And I know you may be wondering, this is like not my normal content on here, but I'm sorry. And I just have to make this known because what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Why? I really don't understand why people do not like me. Do not like us. Because of my color of skin. I don't understand. I really don't fucking understand. What the fuck did I do?
You didn't do nothing. But our ancestors did. The Jim Crow is resurrected in Mississippi. Did wokeness do this? As a matter of fact, it did. Now, some of us who have learned the truth are not surprised by this. It may alarm the sleepwalkers. The Most High have already told us that they will have hatred towards us. All you gotta do is read the word and the curses put upon his people. See, their problem is they finally starting to realize that they wicked rulership is almost up. But I ain't gonna lie, we finna go through some battles, and it's gonna get worse before we leave. We warned our people that are sleepwalking that these nations hate us. And it has nothing to do with skin color. It's because of who we are. The tribe of Judah. The real Jews. It was prophesied that we would be hated throughout the four corners of the earth. What y'all need to find out and learn is that the Bible is our history book. Not a Christian book. Our ancestors were not Christians. They was Israelites. It's time for y'all to learn the truth. And this has nothing to do with religion or tradition. My motto will forever be relationship over religion, truth over tradition. It's that time. It's time for y'all to learn who y'all are. And it's time for y'all to gain a relationship with the Father through his word, not a religion. Now we gonna start off with, who is this? Who is this? Cause the show ain't Yahshua. Cause if the Bible's saying that his hair is white like wool, and I mean white like wool, just like this, where did the brown hair even come from? If it said his skin color was the color of fine brass, burnt in a furnace, and I mean burnt in a furnace. This is an actual picture right here of someone burning fine brass. Then where did y'all get white from? Or even the olive skin color y'all keep claiming. Y'all just don't want him to be black so bad. Y'all just make up any lie. And he was born in Israel, which is Northeast Africa. Y'all stop saying Middle East. It was not called the Middle East back then. It was a part of Africa. So you mean to tell me when they had to hide Jesus, Yahshua, in an all-black place in Africa to blend in with the people, you saying that they hid a white man or an olive skin color man in a place full of black people? It's impossible. Which is common sense that he had to be black to blend in with black people. Now I'm finna tell you why his skin color got something to do with the Jim Crow law and them trying to bring back hanging and lynching. Now, in the Bible, Pilate's wife had a dream about the Messiah. When she seen that the people was trying to kill him, She pulled her husband aside and said, "Have nothing to do with this righteous man." She said, "I suffered much suffering in a dream today. Have nothing to do with his killing." So Pilate turned to the people and said, "I don't see nothing wrong that this man is doing for me to kill him." Pilate was talking to the Hebrews, our people. He said, "If y'all decide to kill this man, the blood will not be on my hands, it will be on y'all's." So then the Jews, aka Hebrew Israelites, mistakenly said, "It's okay. Put it on our hands, our children's hands, for generations and generations. Crucify him." So then it was so. So from then on, we was cursed to die the same way he died. Now they like to tell y'all that he died on a cross, but that is far from the truth. The cross is one of the main graven images that he talks about in the Bible. The word cross was never even in the Bible to begin with. It was added in there from a pagan god they called Tammuz. The cross is a symbol of the first letter of his name, a T. Now, if you look at the history during those times, you would know that if you were worthy of death, you had to be hung. It was the law. Acts 5:30 even told you that he died from hanging from a tree. There was a divine curse placed on a hanged person. And if a man has committed a crime punishable by death, and he is put to death, you hang him on a tree. For a hanged man is cursed by God. And when they had carried out all that was written of him, they took him down from the tree and laid him in his tomb. The same way they do us till this day. For what our ancestors have committed, it allowed us to be punished the same way he was punished. I'ma show y'all the curses that was put upon us. Slavery and captivity. Having no power to stand against our enemies. Being sent back to Egypt again by ships. Exiled in the land of our enemies. Scattered among all nations. A very sick and disease-stricken people. At the bottom socially with other races high above us. Lost the true knowledge of who we were and will be called by many scornful nicknames other than Israel and Hebrew, which is still happening to this day. Packed into prisons and jails. A non-prosperous people. We even hate each other and oppress people by our enemies. The world will not tell you who or where the Israelites are today, but the scriptures will. There's nothing new underneath the sun. There is nothing new. Our sons and daughters will be given to another nation while your eyes grow weary looking for them day after day with no power in your hand. With no power in your hand. With none at all. The cross story couldn't be real if they wanted it to. How did they nail his feet and hands to a cross? When it says that he protected all his bones, not one of them is broken. There would be no way to hammer a huge nail into someone's foot to hang without breaking a bone. There's no way. This is the real reason why no bones shall be broken. The sad reality is, if we continue to disobey, we'll continue to pay. So please, it's time for us to wake up. Stop letting them brainwash you and make you forget who you are. Stop letting them make us feel like we are nobody, because they know who we are. Our people back then just didn't know how to read and write. So they didn't know that the Bible back then was made for them. They felt like it was a horrible, horrible book. But they didn't realize the truth was inside of it. But now it's our time to make up for it. That the truth of who we are is inside of it. Our time is coming, and they know it. The Bible is our true history book. The problem is we let everybody get into our head. Why do you think there is thousands and thousands of religions, but only one true God? All trying to praise the same person, but giving them different names. That's because you were supposed to gain a relationship with the Father through the Word, not a religion. And that's where we as a people fall at.
Ooh, and on that note, so the question that was asked to me today is Christ Jesus' last name?
Um, I would actually answer that. Christ actually, if y'all don't mind me answering, I don't.
Please, because I couldn't give him one.
Okay, so Christ means the anointed one. Okay, so so when we say Christ Jesus, okay, the the word Christ just means the anointed one. A lot of times people do not actually look at that because they don't take a time out and actually study history, study theology, study the meaning of Christianity and the meaning of demonic influences and forces that may come upon a person. That's why you see a lot of people living compromised lives. Even listening to the sister girl, I love the information. I love information because what happens is you get to figure out whether people. And I'm sorry, hold up, just for a moment. Let me get in I want this information to be retrieved without any distractions. Amen. So I sound like I'm preaching now, y'all. Okay. So this is what I'll say. Okay, distractions will come. Okay, like we just talked about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay, distractions will come if you are not prepared to actually give out information and be prepared to actually know the information when the test comes. When a test comes, we have to know answers to be able to get the test right, to be able to accomplish and succeed the test. Okay, a lot of people are stuck because they don't know the information to succeed. Okay, and even with myself, I have learned how to know uh, the appropriate time to help and the appropriate time to not help. Hold up, just for a moment. So right now, okay, we had a group of church members headed to church, you all. Okay, I'm glad we have this. Okay, the engine gasket blew off. Okay, while they're headed to church. Okay, all right, I'm out here helping. Okay, so my calling is not to figure out what is going on. My calling is to actually go to the rescue when I have invested time in the people I love. Okay, and so what I'm saying is Christ. Okay, coming back to the name is not what we should focus on. It's what is behind the name. Christ, it means the anointed one that established the power that Jesus walked in and the authority he walked in. Okay. I hope that actually explains what that means. Okay. And that's not towards you, Juicy. None of this information, this information is just educational, not so much more directed to anyone. This is just basic generalization of what I know about the meaning of Christ, the anointed one. Did he have an actual last name? We didn't. We were not told of his last name. We weren't given that information. Why? Because it really wasn't important. What was important was what the anointed one did and why he did it. But I'm coming on a biblical perspective more so of theology, not so much more of what we just retrieved information from and things like that. Okay, I yield.
Donovan, before you yield it all the way, oh, I take that information in that you just gave. I do. I grew up heavy in the church.
Yes, sir.
And one of the most deceitful things
Uh huh.
that people utilize is people love to say that certain things don't matter when it pertains to Christ. It don't matter if they show him as a white man. It does matter. It does matter because there's an ulterior motive behind why the book say he's a black man or a brown man, but they changed the whole narrative of his hair, skin tone, and everything to fit who they look like. It matters because his real name really does matter because it's power in his real name. Because when you don't know, quote unquote, people who serving or worship up under Christ, his real name, they can also have you praising another God by not knowing what's your God real name is. So here it is, you're calling him Christ, Not you, Donovan, per se. I'm just talking about people. And his real name might be, and his real name may be something else, but you're giving, by you not knowing what his real name is or what his last name is, you could be calling on a different entity that has nothing to do with him.
Yeah. Well, I'll throw this out here, okay? And this is generalization once again. I think within my studies we we know that there are in existence of different names in different languages that he was referred to, like Yahweh,
Yes.
Yahweh. Okay, he was referred to several different names. Okay, I don't ignore the fact that he was referred to that because in the time that everyone lived in, we refer to him as Jesus, where in the Hebrew and Latin there was a different name because of a different time that was translated into our language. Okay, not so much that it was wrong, it was the fact that they did translate it. Okay, King James thought we should have an English version. They translated it. Not saying that King James was right in the translation, but it happened. Okay, so we have to do our study, and we can't study too much of everything because if you study too much of everything, you might not get 2 plus 2 equals 4.
But
You
what
might
did
get
he
2
say?
plus
But
2 equals 5.
being the scholar that you are on the word, he said that you ought to study to show thyself approved, a
As
workman.
a workman's needed to be not
Right.
ashamed of the
So
gospel.
there is no end to studying and finding truth.
Oh, right. But you just mentioned a good key, which is it's not a but, okay? It's an add-on, okay? Not a but. I'm not in disagreement. There's an addition of what you just
Okay.
mentioned. To finding truth. Truth is actually right in front of our eyes. Okay. Now, whether we choose to follow truth, that's the choice that God has given us freedom on. Okay. A lot of times we follow too much of everything, sometimes where we can't focus on following truth because now everyone thinks their own truth can be created and established. Now, your own truth can't be created and established. Your own truth has to be in knowing God is the answer. Acts 4 and 12. Occupied till he comes, Luke 19:13. Okay? He that is greater in us than he that is in the world. We can speak life to every situation. There's a lot of principles of the Bible that we can grasp ourselves in and actually take from without being compromised. Where a lot of times now we are dealing with a lot of justifications instead of unification. And times like this, we need to be unified. We need to build with each other. Okay, there's a lot of things going on in our world, and we unfortunately have not gotten our people together to be unified. We have justified a lot of things and not unified ourselves and equipped ourselves with the truth of God's word so we can be rebuild freedom, living in freedom. A lot of people don't know how to live in freedom because they're not so attached to truth, they're attached to justification of making sense. And you all know everything can't make sense. There's physics and chemistry applied where you just have to know it.
Right.
Okay.
I agree.
2 plus 2 equals 4. You have to just know it. You can't come up with science and chemistry. I yield.
So I'm gonna
Hold
say,
on, Kate. Go ahead, Tony.
I have a question. I'm gonna be brief, Juicy. Even with what Donovan was saying, that with these different translations and different people changing this and changing that, blah 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 blah, doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Don't necessarily mean it's wrong. So with all these different translations, not just in his name, but don't you also believe that it's possible that humans, because there was humans that did the changes, that also that some of the word could have also been changed and distorted.
Of course it was. Of course it was. And the purpose of it, D, is because if we let's say, like the young lady said, we are the chosen ones, tribe of Judah. If we are the chosen ones, we are the ones that Moses led from up out of bondage and into the wilderness for supposed to have been 4 days or 400 years. If you got to understand that if you don't learn from history repeats itself. How long did blacks go through physical slavery, of physical bondage, and how much have we gone? How much time has passed since we've become supposedly not to be slaves anymore, but still we've been in bondage financially. We've had redlining, we've had the Jim Crow era, we've had the crack law, we've had all type of things thrown at the black race. Even though it said, oh well, unaffected, no. You made mass incarceration laws off of black people because black people were the one that was actually selling and using the drugs more than anybody at the time. If you look at the timeline from being in bondage and being brought over and being enslaved, it's roughly around about 400, close to 500 years now that we've still been in the wilderness. And what I'm trying to get people to understand in this message, D, Tony Juicy, is there's power in knowing who the hell you are. And the purpose of changing the language over the years is to distort the history of the chosen ones.
Okay.
So when a person say,
so where I was gonna
go ahead, Kate.
So with that, with the word Christ, the definition of Christ says an ideal type of humanity. And that was one of the reasons why I was asking, it was actually a joke on the Steve Harvey show when they said, is Christ Jesus' last name? But with the information that she shared, and then what Donovan was saying, I asked that question too, because when we look at identifying being Christ-like, and Jesus is the example, we know about Jesus per the things that we are told in the scripture. But then there are more books and things written that we should be searching and reading and knowing. But that the Bible, like the young lady was saying, is like our history lesson book, but it tells the story of who we would consider our ancestors to be when they were walking in that God-like power in existence and being the rulers. And so we do need to know, I wholeheartedly believe and agree with you, Legacy, who we are.
We have to, because if we don't, Kate, and I know Donovan wasn't saying that we shouldn't, but when we talk about the word Christ, when that time came about, at that time of walking, when Christ was alive over there in the Middle East or in Africa, there was not even a letter C at the time created.
Or J.
Or J. So why do we have to, if let's say all the other people that have been passed down, they done changed the name 100,000 times till they get to Jesus Christ. Why is it so hard to say his real name? If we know that we can go back to the Hebrew and pull up Hebrew translation, which is the original language that the Bible was wrote in. Why is it that we don't go back and look at what the name say then and call him by that name? Because we know that that's the original name. Because if we go to calling him by his real name, the real one, he will have to start answering some questions. He'll have to start answering some prayers. Because there's no way you telling me black people been in bondage all this damn time. And God being who he is, ain't blessing nobody but white folks. Is you crazy? We calling on the wrong name.
So hold on. Consider this. How come we like to think that what they got going on is the blessing? So I challenge a lot of people often to look at how much we're evolving into the future today, thinking it's a good thing, and we are going closer to hell and damnation than we could ever imagine. We are moving, like we're at 10G now. We're wearing shoes and we're getting so, like people are wearing rubber Crocs as shoes, which is one of, I have on a pair right now. We need to be grounded. I need to be wearing hemp shoes. I need to be wearing dirt shoes. I need to be wearing something that's going to give me a connection back to Mother Gia, to the earth, to bring the natural nutrients and minerals and antioxidants and antihistamines into my body naturally, than depending on these lab created things that they're doing. But we keep tapping into what they have, and we're killing Earth. And if we and Earth is gonna kill us before we kill it. And so that's what's going on. But us sitting here thinking that what they have is good and what we have is not. Like I was looking at the homeless people the other day on the side of the street. This white man was sitting in a computer desk chair, and a lady had a cape on him, and she was using a battery operated edger electric trimmer, giving him a haircut. And I was like, we're thinking they're doing bad and they're not living up to standards and having like life need to be where they need to be, but they're actually living better and healthier than us who are trapped in our homes, breathing in bad air, poisoned by the water, having all these contaminants and everything going on, thinking we're living in luxury when we're living in demise.
Go ahead, Donovan. Look like you had something to say before we get ready to move on.
I like what you're stating. Okay, um, juicy. All right. So I like what you stated. I like the information that came out, and it's not about liking it. It's about speaking truth and facts. Okay. That's why you see me here with whatever I have on. It's not name brand. It's not fashion. Okay, it's something I want to wear. Okay, because see, name brand, name fashion, it may have compromised what we actually should be wearing for our health. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people wear a lot of things to fit in. Okay, the media calls it cool. Okay, and I know when you see a bunch of guys advertising their Ethica or their Nike or their Reebok underwear online, that's fashion, that's a trend. But
Mm-hmm.
that's also a message of illusions of now we're not feeling good about ourselves if we're not rocking this or rocking
Right.
that. Okay?
Right.
We're not feeling good about ourselves if we don't have a tattoo or something. Not saying that tattoos are bad, okay? I'm
Right.
saying the norm of society thinks if you want to get a tattoo, that's the coolest thing anyone can do to express their feelings. You don't have to do that. I think they're cool, but I don't have to express my feelings. That's not the only way you can express your feelings and your emotions and things. A lot of people take a lot of emotions and feelings and think that's pride in self. Think that's well, I've got to get this out because this is not what it should be or how it should be. Once again, and I know that there's a lot of people that go by he said, she said, they said things. Okay, if something's not right or if it's not true, don't worry about it. Okay. If it's true, work on it if you don't want it to be true. Okay.
Right.
All right. People battle demonic influences, demonic forces that get them wearing different things, that get them saying different things, that get them feeling like they have to be on an aggression side of life. And social media has changed this whole world. Okay.
Oh yeah.
The moment someone posts something, it can be true or false. Okay, everything goes south or it goes north. Okay, it never goes on the west coast or east coast, y'all. Okay, like you like you mentioned, legacy. You mentioned Dave Chappelle went all the way to Africa. Okay, because you know
Yeah.
what? Nothing ever goes east or west. It's either going up or down. Okay,
Yeah.
hell or heaven. Okay,
Yeah.
and people don't get the actual truth until it's too late. And that's why we have a corrupted justice system because
Mm-hmm.
everyone puts people at risk already for failure. We have a corrupted mindset of a people that thinks, hey, well, if I wear Ethica, I'm going to get a contract. All right.
Yeah.
If I bounce a ball a couple times, I'm going to be the best NBA star. If I throw a football the longest the first time, get it 45 yards across the field, I'm going to be the best football player. Okay. If I have the latest song that gets about 100 views, I'm going to be popping some music everywhere. Okay. But let's give some examples to the reality of our health. Like you said, Juicy, our health is at risk so much because they They are taking our trees down like crazy.
Oh
Those
yeah.
wildfires in Canada that reached across the whole United States, that we all had breathing problems 2 weeks ago, and they put a national warning out saying that the air pollution, the air quality is bad.
They did.
That's
Um,
no joke.
we just had it last week. It wasn't even just 2 weeks. It keeps coming.
They
It's
did
Keep
it.
been,
coming.
yeah,
Listen, I've never
it's
used.
happened again.
Listen, yo, I went to the doctor. I've never had asthma or anything. Look what they gave me.
Yep.
Never had it.
So, I was speaking to my daughter about, and this switches the subject a little bit, but it gives us good topic content too. I was speaking to my daughter about that because we are holistic and everything we do is by nature. So my daughter suffered for many years with asthma, and she had to
Uh-huh.
take 7 prescriptions twice a day, shots. It was awful. But when she decided to go cold turkey and cut out all the prescriptions and trust God and go with God's plan, which was nature, we did away with all the medicines.
Uh-huh.
This year, I want to say May, end of May, but definitely June. It's been almost every week we've had an asthma flare up in the middle of the night. She's waking up, can't breathe, like she's been strangled. And the thing of it is I notice, I pay attention because I don't watch the TV. I'm not distracted by a lot of things. I'm very focused and watching my children and the way our lives are and other people's lives. So it keeps me attuned to what's going on in society as far as health. The same things were happening when COVID was first kicking off, about how the health was just plummeting to needing more. And they kept putting 5G as a reason, COVID as a reason. And a lot of people don't like to look at how the increase in changes in the radiation frequencies really do affect our health and wellness. And I just discovered we're up to 10G listening to the radio now that I done got my old radio and can put it on and play, like the one with the dial, and I can tune into these
Other
different
stations that don't normally be
stations.
picked up.
Right. So now I can go back and hear real things. We're listening to the news again. We're listening. That's my way of networking and hearing. I don't watch the TV,
But Kate,
but it's,
that's
yes,
definitely why it's so hot, because of they talk about 5G. It's way past 5G.
it's way past 5G. But the main thing that also affects your breathing is this attack from the radiation, because it's drying you up. And you need the like mucus. Yes, is something we want to cleanse out of our body because it's toxic. But the reason it's toxic is because of the what it's made of, and what we're putting in us makes it be toxic. But if you put in mucus that was of all good stuff, it's now not going to be on the toxicity level of hurting you, but on the level of lubricating your insides and helping you breathe and have what you need to have. But if radiation's drying all that up, you've got breathing conditions and issues happening. Well, in my daughter's window of her room, I like to keep an airflow going in. So year round, we keep windows open from the top so that we have a steady flow of cleansing of our environment. And her room was one that I kept the window open in. And it just dawned on me when I noticed, oh, wait, we have 10G. Every night she's waking up, can't breathe. When they were putting up those 5G towers at the nighttime, we would have blackouts. Power would go out. Power's been going out here left and right, just out of the blue. We don't, the power's off, it comes back on. Y'all can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I think we heard some crackling of a mouth, but that's taken care of. It's all right.
No, all of a sudden I couldn't hear anything. Um, but algae is really affecting us, and we're putting it to. I feel that gas did not come from Canada as far as smoke fumes. Because one thing I think you were about to say, Donovan, is that you've never experienced smoke from fire coming from Canada all the way down.
All the way here. Come on, girl.
There's been fires all our life.
That was a lie.
It was a lie.
It was a cover-up.
A major lie, a major cover-up.
They have a bigger picture behind their operation. It was just a scientific chemistry thing that they had to throw out there so the people wouldn't get frightened or scared or inquisitive of what's actually going on. They were waiting for us to look around and see what was going on. Sorry to cut you off, Juicy. I'm sorry.
No, you're not sorry. You're great. This is called building.
Oh,
so
yeah.
in my culture, instead of religion, in my culture, we build to destroy.
Oh, yeah. We're destroying everything they wanted us to believe. They wanted us to believe that Canada had wildfires. I had a white couple getting back from vacation and said, hey, we didn't see anything driving to and from Canada. We enjoyed it.
The thing about it,
how in the devil?
The thing about it is the wildfires are also in California.
There you go.
But you made a good point. Things don't go east to west. They only go north and south.
North and south.
North and south.
North and south. Oh well, which tells you. Okay, hold on. Wait, which tells you heat.
Listen.
Oh, someone mentioned this. Heat.
Go ahead, Donovan.
Heat rises. Where's Canada? It's north. Problems down south rises to the north. Things on the west stay so far on the west, so we East Coast people wouldn't even get what's going on the west.
Right.
It stays so far on the west. If someone goes all the way on the East Coast and find out what's going on the West Coast, that means we're in a world's worth of trouble. So when we hear something going on in Houston, why do they say, Houston, we got a problem? Because people on the East Coast is affected still because Houston is so close to the East Coast and still in the East Coast that we are on the East Coast of Central Time Zone and East Coast Time Zone. Houston, from where I live, is still on the same time zone that I am in, and I'm 13 hours away from Houston, y'all. What am I saying? North and south, it does matter. But heat rises, Canada's heat would have been rising, not coming down.
Yep. But I mean, they burn up shit in California every year. It's not a year that go by that it ain't a wild forest fire.
They need to burn up that LGBT, you know what I mean. I'm sorry.
They burn up forests or the trees on the side of the road in almost every state because it's to keep the wildlife from coming close to the city streets. So they will set them on fire about, I think it goes from the curb 10 feet into the forest. If you drive in Georgia down 84, 82, South Carolina, you ride on their back roads, you go through, you're going to see black around the base of the trunks of the trees because they set these fires intentionally to keep the wildlife.
But Kate, listen, let's say that is the case. How is it that every year there's a fucking wildfire? You mean to tell me you can control the fire in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all over here on this area, we can control fires. But for some reason, California just can't control they man-made started fires.
Well, it's not that they can't control it. It's a matter of choice. Because you have to also understand how much money. Yeah, go ahead and use that. You have to remember how much money FEMA dishes out to people who are having the need.
Right.
And California is a country, that I'm sorry, it's a state. It's a state. It's not a country.
Actually, you actually said the right thing just now.
I know, but
You actually did say the right thing.
I know,
Yes.
but
No,
they are there.
no.
They are their
You
own.
said the right thing, and you corrected yourself from saying the right thing because politically correctness says that it's actually its own state, but it's
Right,
actually it then became its own country. Okay,
right,
because notice, and I'm adding on to destroy what's out there. Okay, whatever California says, Uber and Lyft is ran through California. Okay,
Silicon Valley.
I work for Uber and Lyft. Okay, why were we practicing mask mandates from something that's lifted from our state, which states have its own rights, as we know in the constitutional, the 10th Amendment gives the states and the rights of the states to govern their own people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so why do we have the state of California still governing drivers in every state? And this is when the mask mandates lifted up, you all, governing every state still from a corporation side, not a legal standpoint side, corporation side.
right.
That tells you that we're living amongst people in our own country that has their own country operation, trying to control a country perspective of life to get us to actually be controlled of a population. Whatever Nancy Pelosi says, everyone bowed. She sat there and bowed on Juneteenth, okay, with a bunch of white people, with a bunch of us. And she's bowing. No, you don't have that power to do what we have. You don't get that authority to do what we have. That was an illusion of control, and she was in the front and we were in the back. That was dominance, and I failed to understand why they all let her control them from a state point of view. That's a country inside itself. I yield.
The funny part is I live in the District of Columbia, and here in DC, all the states are supposed to be in DC, so we're to govern. But I was noticing, even on the labeling of things, of products, there's so many warning labels from California about this ingredient is in this product and it could cause cancer. And it's not, and California wants to let you know, but the rest of this country, it's not the same for the rest of the country, but only in California it'll cause cancer. No, it'll cause cancer, period. But California has their own jurisdiction, their own ways, and they're voicing it. But that's also pointing out the path we're taking into the near future of our rights and
Oh yeah.
bringing back Jim Crow and what's coming up.
Oh yeah. Well, which the sister talked about.
Right.
I don't think Jim. I'll say this, opinion based. I don't believe the Jim Crow has anything to do with the Bible. I think it's just reality itself, really. Okay. I don't want to ever put religion to control a people on Jim Crow laws that were made external from the Bible, you all. Okay. And so I love her dissension of opinion and things in the TikTok video she made. But I believe once again, based on opinion, okay, and not facts, that can be actually source cited, that Jim Crow laws stand alone, like Adolf Hitler stand alone, with him trying to control the actual people that he wanted to control, and they call those places a people that they want to control the ghettos. Hello? So, which brings us to the point of why do they call us the ghettos? Okay. You living in the ghetto. Where did we pick that kind of language up from? And why did we actually establish that type of language in our community to refer to us being controlled in that area, because it was made back in the day, not from white people. It was from a different sect of people. Because if believe it or not, white people don't even exist, you all.
Oh, you needed to be in my Saturday.
You can't trace them back yet anywhere. You can trace blacks.
So I read this book called The Seven, and in the 7 days of creation, they were talking about Yakub, who's actually supposed to be Jacob, but Yakub, being a mad scientist, how he grafted and created the white man. That story was a very, very interesting point of taking bits and pieces and deriving them, like in that Frankenstein aspect. What you think about that?
All right.
All right.
Hey, that's a lot. I'm gonna let Legacy, the greatest, comment first before I can, so I can formulate on thinking about that. Actually,
Gotcha.
could you say that again to the audience too?
Yes. Yaku, the book is called 7 Days of Creation. And it spoke about how we were created, and it wasn't in 7 days. But it spoke about Yaku, who is supposedly the God who created the white race. And he created the white man in his basement, like Frankenstein created people. But he created them from the likes of us. But one of the things he could not duplicate, which they have today been able to find a way to get melanin inside, and it's in a pill, it's in a, they found the synthetic form of it, but he could not reconstruct the code in the DNA structure that gave the melanin, which was the protection. Melanin is actually the major healing agent. That's the godlike genetic cell in our bloodstream, that keeps us. That's what we have, and that's what they want. And so creating the synthetic version of it by taking all of the placenta through all the childbirths of all these years, and getting it to where they've got enough to share because they're taking it from us. They're able to match up with us. But back then they weren't taking placentas. So Yaku wasn't able to create melanin in the white man at that time. And that's why they burned from the sun and so forth. But that was the book.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I have heard that theory, but not in that way. But what I heard was, like, we all know that, from what we've heard in the biblical essence of learning the Bible, that the reason Satan was cast out of heaven was because he wanted to exalt himself above God's throne. And once he was cast out and everything, but for ages, it's been said that Satan has always been on earth trying to replicate God's creation in us. That he's always tried to replicate us. But what he couldn't do was he couldn't give his image a soul, because your soul comes from the creator. And so it's always been said that there have always been other beings here on earth that looks like us and have always aspired to dominate God's creation. And when I look around and I look at it, and I just thinking about what you brought up, Juicy, and I'm like, well, dang, the only creation that everywhere it goes that causes bloodshed and strife and causes misery amongst other nations is the Caucasian race. everywhere they go, everywhere their hands are put, not all, but the vast majority that does, they always cause chaos wherever they go. Murder. I mean, there's not been one race of people on the planet that has caused more strife and bloodshed on the planet than a pale face.
Oh yeah.
So when y'all talk about that, Donovan and Cake, you bring that up, it makes me now think, and that's just for me just hearing it and then thinking about playing what I've heard from over the years. That could be a possibility because it's like they can't really just if you notice anything that takes place, if you start something and it's going well and it's going fine, white people have a problem with them not being invited to be in anything that has nothing to do with them.
Say that again, Legacy. Say that again, and I'm going to put something with that and mix it up and make sure that the Kool-Aid was right.
It's just crazy that anytime we do something and then we do not invite or allow them to be a part of it, it drives them mad. It drives them mad. And I couldn't understand that because, like, I remember one time, Don, we were talking about, I don't understand why so many black people go crazy about being on to winning an Oscar. I'm like, by now, we should be over asking to be, can we be considered for a damn Oscar? We got enough famous black people and people with money now that we should have our own thing to where we don't never give a damn about going to get an Oscar because we trying to get this black boot, we trying to get this black thing, whatever the Black Pearl Oscar form over here. And soon as we do that, they'll send somebody in, infiltrate to cause mass hysteria, shootings inside of these things, killing somebody, and it'll tear us down from having it. So, I mean, they have everywhere they put their hands on something that's not theirs.
Say it.
Is a fucking problem.
Let me tell you, I had an event last week, okay? I'm still recovering my sleep and everything. But I'm telling you, white chief, black assistant chief, black city council member, white sergeant, okay? Let me remind you, this is a black function, black event, okay? Let me help you out. Let me paint the narrative and let me help you who control the narrative, okay? Have a black event. The Dust Bowl. A Dust Bowl is supposed to be outside. It's a group of challenges of basketball tournaments that engage and brings our black people together in the Midwest. Y'all have that there in D.C. and Florida and everywhere?
We have events like that around in our city, yeah.
Okay. We have events, but not called that, but yes.
It's called Dirt Bowl, Dust Bowl. Okay, let me tell you, it's supposed to be outside. Dust, dirt, it's supposed to be outside. Okay? We started our first 2 days out great outside. The chief of police, white man, okay? There's a situation that happened 2 blocks ago, 2 blocks away, a shooting of a car. They tried to say the victim said that they were going to come to our event and shoot the person that shot his car. They wanted that to be the conversation that went across media and things. Why? Because we didn't include them into the fun of the Dust Bowl all the way. So they moved our Dust Bowl inside with the black assistant chief covering it up with conversation and the black city council member covering it up with conversation to make it a black thing, black decision only. But it was the actual chief's decision. Okay? And
let me ask you a question, Don. Let me ask you a question.
In the meeting.
Let me ask you a question,
has a problem. Yes, sir.
In your city, do your mayor have more power in your city than the sheriff? Because in most major cities, the sheriff runs, the mayor runs the sheriff and chief of police.
Yes, the mayor was on board with supporting the chief of police. Okay, this is what happens.
Which are black people, right?
The mayor appointed a white chief of police. The chief of police has a good buddy that is his assistant chief of police. What do
I'm
I have
asking
to
you,
say?
what color is the mayor?
The mayor is white.
Okay, so
the mayor loves the black people.
Then
The
why would he
mayor's white.
side? Why would? First of all, let me ask this question, and I know you might can't answer it, but I'm just gonna ask. If you are the chief of police, the assistant chief of police or sheriff, and you know an individual who got their car shot up, and they blatantly told you that, hey, I'm going back out here and I'm finna shoot the person up who shot at my car. Right then, that's a terroristic threat. Why not arrest him and remove him from the situation instead of causing mass hysteria and scaring up and to defame whatever it was y'all was trying to do? So
Legacy.
Because fear is what we need.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me tell you, I had a meeting with them privately without the public knowing. Okay, you go on my page and go to the Evansville Dust Bowl, you'll know that I have my concerns. I posted it publicly, my concern, but I posted it so professional. People that didn't get it, they just lost what actually happened. All right. I said who actually changed the event venue. One black person actually missed the whole point of who actually changed it and put my name in there. Okay. To make a long story short, the police department was frustrated with me. The chief of police was frustrated with me. The assistant chief was frustrated with me. They knew how much planning went into that event for them to change it last minute. Okay? That was a controlled population that they wanted. They wanted their name on it, that it was successful since we moved it inside. And they covered it up with the interest of public safety. Nothing happened at the event. It was a normal situation that they would have had to deal with on the streets. It was a cover up, and they should have arrested the person that they said made a public threat.
Exactly.
Due to public safety, but they couldn't answer the question on how they deal with public threats because it was all a cover up. I wanted to see Officer Gibson. I wanted her to tell me, did she get it on camera? There was no conversation about it being on camera, which means if you didn't get it on recording, it was hearsay. It was a cover up, so you all can be able to make decisions based on you all's cover up.
Crazy, Donovan? You know what's crazy, Donovan? I promise you, I done been to a lot of events in my life, black events. I done been to quite a few white events, and it's just crazy to me how black folks don't nearly do as much mass shootings and killing as white people do.
You got that right.
And you can go and tell people that little Tommy got a semi-automatic. We talking about little Tommy. We ain't talking about Timmy. To my little Tommy. Little Tommy is walking down the road with a semi-automatic rifle in an open carry state, and that's fine. Cause that's little Tommy. Let little Timmy walk in that same open carry state with a semi-automatic rifle, and they're going to pull him over, knowing that this is an open carry state, knowing they got freedom. I'm just telling you that this stuff is crazy. We don't go around killing him. If we do, it's against us, and we don't kill like that. White folks go into places and shoot up everybody, and y'all walk them out of the building where they done shot up 90 people.
Yeah.
But anything pertaining to black folks, they're so scared of unity. They're so scared of black people saying, "Hey, you know what? We tired of this shit. We ain't hurting each other no more."
So if they can't physically move people forcefully like they used to, they use the greatest tactic that the United States of America used to control the masses of people: fear. Fear controls people.
That's true.
So just like you said, Donovan, what can we say? What can we come up with that would make them have to remove themselves from the dust tank and bring it to a place where we want them to do, so we can take the credit of we were keeping it safe. It was safe 2 days before you motherfuckers put your nose in it. But because if you do not include them, it hurts their feelings and they think you are becoming uppity Negro. And you don't need us no more. The prime example is Tulsa, Oklahoma. Still to this day, there's not been a black community built from way back then to now, where it was black self-sufficient, where it wasn't that much necessary needed of white people, other than you may have some farmers and pharmaceutical people go out and buy from, one or few white folks, but that dollar circulated 33 times in that black community before it left out. And when black folks are the largest consumer of damn near everything, that especially black women, nobody purchased more than black women in the United States of America. Nobody. So just imagine with all these black women, let's just use the hair industry, which is almost a $2.5 billion industry just from down there black women buying hair alone. And that money don't circulate in black communities. That money circulates in the Arab store, circulate with some white people and some Jewish people, and it go where it's supposed to go. It doesn't benefit the black person. And that's cool. But until black folks start making their dollars circulate with one another more than it does, and other than being in illegal usage, we're going to always be in this pitfall. Because truth be told, if we stop going to their stores, if we start having our mom and pop stores where we're purchasing all our stuff from our people, and that black dollar is not circulating in Walmart, Publix, Kroger's, give me a store, Juicer, where you
at? Giant.
Donovan, give me a damn store that we ain't got up here.
Safeway. Shoppers.
All of that.
Wegmans.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, anytime we don't include them in anything that we got going on, it's suspicious. And anytime they got something going on and they never include us, we beg to be a part of it. Until we start saying, fuck them. That's when we'll start, fuck them. I can make my own clubhouse. I ain't gotta be in your fucking clubhouse. Let's move on, T. We ain't got but a bit. Hey, B.
Anthony. Next.
Huh?
Ready to move on?
This man. Tell me that man. Boy, you sleep. Boy, you ought to be.
I gotta see this video.
No, listen. What is my son don't got no clothing? He's walking around looking dirty. Like, that's my son. That's our son.
He's not walking around looking dirty. He got what he needs.
When you drop him off at his grandma's house all the time, why can't you raise my son? I'll come back from work.
I am raising your son. What?
At his grandma's house?
All right.
Yeah, I pay you $900 every week for you to take care of my son, and you.
Okay, and there are other things I need to get done. I need to get my hair done. I need to get my nails done.
No, your child support. But the boy, listen, come on now. That's my son. Come on now. The boy ain't got no clothes. He's walking around looking dirty. That's my son.
He's not walking around looking dirty. He got his hair cut like last month. It don't matter.
Last month?
He's a child. He don't need to have his hair cut all the time.
But no, that's not even the problem.
It ain't like he got a job.
That's not even the problem.
Like,
The problem. Hold on for a second. You gotta raise your voice at me right here. Because you've been lying. You've been lying to his grandma, saying that I'm all tripping. So I'm making hey, look, hey, this is why I'm recording you. Listen to this. The child support money is for child support. It's not for your nails. It's not for your hair. It's not for no Disney World. My son got me just as good.
Tell me what the money that is in my hand go to.
It's child support money.
No,
bro,
it's not child support money. It's the money that you give me, and I can do whatever I want with it.
You want it's for our child, though. What I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
And he get him a little something from time to
check this out. You know what I'm gonna do now? You know what I'm gonna do now? From now on. Hey, check this out. From now on, I'm gonna give the money to his grandma, so you ain't gotta pay for it.
You can't give his grandma. I'm his mom. You're not
acting like a mom. If you act like a mom, listen. Hey, Peter. Hey, check this out. I'm not yelling with you. I'm not yelling with you.
Yeah, you are. You're raising your voice at me right now, and you got a camera in your hand. What you trying to do? You gonna post it on the internet so you can embarrass me?
Yes, I am.
Is that the point of this?
That's how I'm gonna post it in there.
All right. Well, you would embarrass the mother of your son. You are the father of the year.
You know, you ain't acting like a, but you act like a mother, and I'm not even. I wouldn't even post it, but I'm posting because you're not. No, you're not. Listen to this. Check this out. I'm gonna give it to his grandma. So instead of paying you $900, so you want to spend $900 on your nails, your hairs, all that stuff.
$900 really ain't even enough. Like
that isn't. The boy's 10 years old. He's a little boy.
At least like 15 more than what you give it.
Look at the hair done.
Yeah, it don't look good, don't it?
But my son got hair done last month.
He got his hair done last month.
And when you did your hair, and when you listen, so since you don't work, yo, in there, check this out. Since you don't work, who's doing your hair? You paying our child support money for your hair. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna give his grandma the money so she can spend it how she wants to spend. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm saying. This conversation is over.
Conversation over.
It's over.
The conversation ain't over.
Yes, it is over.
What you gonna do is give me some more money.
I'm not
so
giving you no money at all.
Myself and my son.
No, I'm gonna give it to his grandma. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're not gonna give it to his grandma. It is what it is. Go ahead, girl. In about 3 days. It really don't matter. He's gonna be here in about 3 days. We can go get his hair cut, get a little something done, and then next month.
Hey, and you know what?
He can get another haircut.
You know what I should do? Just put this in the cake. You know what I should do? I should get a lawyer and you know what I'm saying? Just do this custody thing so we ain't gotta worry about it.
We don't need to do no custody thing. You're not taking my child from me.
Then they're raising him right then.
I am raising him right.
All right,
how about you show up more?
Well, I'm working.
You're working.
But see, the thing about this though, she always trying to argue.
That's the thing.
That's it. When you know you're in the wrong, when she know, hey yo, bro, hey, look, when she knows she's in the wrong, she always trying to argue. That's how you know a girl's in the wrong, because she's always trying. Look at this. Yo, bad baby mother. That's what it is.
Good job, my face.
It's all good. I ain't worried about it.
Get that camera out of my face.
I ain't worried about it.
Come over here again.
Bad. I'm out of here. I know I'm about to.
Record yourself. You look dumb right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to the court too.
What point does this prove? It doesn't prove anything. The boy is a boy. He can be a child. It don't matter.
It proves that you're a bad mother. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give myself a lawyer.
He's 10 years old.
I'm gonna give myself a lawyer.
Like he gotta come in with his hair done every day. Shut up. I'm tired of him out.
I know.
You're not even here.
No woman.
Like I need 1,500 next week.
No, we gonna do 900. We're not gonna add no more.
No, we need to add more.
Add no more.
You see my toes? I need my toes did. Zoom in my toes that you want to show everybody else everything. Zoom in the mouth. Show all of your people.
I'm not arguing with you.
Look at I didn't even got rubber to put on my head so I can wash these dishes. If you want to sit here and complain about a child haircut, when is he supposed to get his haircut? Days go by before he's supposed to get another haircut. Is that what you're really upset about?
Last question. Wait, whose money? Whose money? Was it child support money?
It don't matter. You're his father. You're gonna always take care of him. Is that what you're upset about?
Child support money. All right, I'm out of here.
Bye.
And last thing, he said, you know what your girlfriend told me?
What?
Y'all trying to go to Dubai.
And y'all trying to go to Dubai. We're not together now because you always talking to my girlfriends.
I know her for 2 years.
All right, bye.
And I know you trying. You know what
bye,
you
James.
trying to.
Bye, James.
All right.
Bye, James.
I know you trying to do. You trying to go to Dubai too. And man, these are the modern day women, bro. These are the modern day women, bro. They want to go to Dubai. They want to do all kinds of stuff. You want all kinds of stuff. $900. I'm paying $900. This girl, she want to get her nails done. She want to get. I'm talking now. Bye. She want to get her nails done. She want to get. Hey, she want to get her nails done, bro, with my money. And my son out there, his hair hadn't been cut in a month. The boy walking around with like Goodwill looking clothing. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy.
This video for some
this
girl,
crazy.
Ain't you? No,
Lord, and agree.
Alrighty.
I just want to say this. I don't know anybody that I know who got a baby daddy or a baby mama who baby daddy or baby mama can just.
I can't hear anything.
House. Hold on. You can't hear me?
I hear you.
Who can't just walk? Who can just walk in their house and just? I mean, what's up, Adrian? Who could just walk up into their house and start holding a conversation about something like that, that's crazy. But at the end of the day, you know, this you can look at the lady washing. It's a skit. The lady washing dishes. It wasn't no goddamn suds in the sink. When she was washing one thing the whole time, you know. But I'm waiting on Ashley. No, but the thing is this. It's
I can't hear
crazy.
anything. Is it me or?
It got to be you, Donovan. But it's just crazy how that played out. It's two of you, ain't it? No, Juicy on power.
Yeah, no,
But
that was a script. I
yeah, that
agree.
was a script.
And I'm tired of these damn scripts.
Yeah, because I mean,
Especially for our
go
black
ahead, Kate.
mothers and fathers to act like this, because I understand that this may be the way some people do things. However, it's time to start promoting how things need to be being done, not how some people do things. Like, this is giving too much air, too much life to fuckery and foolishness, especially when dealing with children. Money is money. People gonna do what they gonna do with the money when they have it. You can't dictate how someone spends it. But at the same time, the well-being of a child should not be the conversation or topic of scrutiny, as if it's not necessary. A
But
child's
but
grooming is their self-esteem.
but Tony, this is why the conversation we had back in 2022, child support needs to be monitored.
Definitely. I agree with
A
that.
mother should not be able to go inside and purchase anything with other than stuff for a child. That it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be able to do. Oh well, I can use it how I want to use it. No, that's not what it's for. That money's supposed to go on bills, things for school, clothes, and food accessories in the house. And if you got to use some of that money to get your car fixed or whatever you drive, if that has to go towards that because that's something that helps the child get around easier and make his or her life easier, then use it for that. Nobody should be able to go and take money off of a card, and here it is. Nobody looks, no part of the government entity looks into and look to see, okay, well, we're gonna have an audit of what Miss Cake do with her child support money. Oh, could you explain to me why you know you've spent over $1,800 in hair supplies? What is it that you're buying? And you got a son, but what is it that you're buying at the hair store that costs $86? But this supposed to be for the child. Child support has to be monitored because most of these people, most of these men or women, whoever is getting child support, are not thoroughly utilizing the child support for the child. Sorry.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna just be on that sidebar. Don't come for me. Let me come on the screen. What I do with my child support money once it hit my account, that's my business.
If
I'm
it's
like
not
her.
being utilized towards the kids, it's not.
First and foremost, my child
disagree.
support payment,
Legacy.
it subsidizes. It
Yep.
goes in addition to what I do for my children. And that's where a lot of these mothers or people are missing the mark. It's to add to the livelihood for the
Correct.
child. And
Correct,
so
Kate.
so mine come the first of the month and the middle of the month, or the
But
end
I
of the
wasn't
month, the middle
talking
of the
about
month.
you.
I know you're not. I know
Okay,
you're
okay.
not. I know you're not. But I said I don't want to highlight the negative for people. They might need to know how to do things. If you get child support 2 times a month, and those times that's when you choose to go get your nails done because you already paid rent out your other money, then okay, get your nails done, get your hair done. And if it came with their child support card, fine. But your child, if he wants a haircut, his hair should get cut.
Kate,
I
but
have
what if the person is getting child support? Donovan, what if the person is getting child support money, but sometime every month, some kind of way, the lights off,
no,
or
that's
or the
that no,
or the water off.
no. Ain't
So
no
that
sometime or how can it they shouldn't even be going to get no assistance.
oh yeah, but our system's compromised, y'all. Okay, so what I'll add in, okay, is that if the lights and water is off, that's something about managing finances. That's not
Right.
has nothing to do
Right,
with child support. It has something to do with managing finances.
right.
Because child support is
It
not
does
going to take
because
care. Child
Donovan,
support's not going to take care of every bill. First of all,
listen. You might not know, but do you know what the average child support payment is?
the average child support payment in America is probably $70 a week for a child, depending on the child and the finances of an average family. An average
Right.
family that pulls out child support already, we come to the conclusion, and this is not this is a generalization. Okay,
Right.
it's support because obviously additional support is needed. Okay, all right, it's support. Okay, all right, the generalization of child support. Also, in another eyes, okay, because I don't get child support and I don't. Yeah, so okay, but uh, it's holding another side of a relationship accountable. Uh, in the parenting side, and that can be females as well as it's males.
Right.
Okay,
But
so
what
we
I
don't.
wanted to say, D, is this:
Uh
based off of minimum wage, because most people they ain't got a job, so they base child support off of minimum wage.
huh.
And it depends on where you are and what state you're in. Minimum wage in the state of Georgia is $7.25, $7.50. So in the state of Florida, minimum wage is like $11.50. So monthly child support at minimum wage is I think it's like $4.40 a month. So, like Kate said, child support is for subsidizing. So if you already making an income, which most people who are receiving child support, some of them live off of the child support. So if it's supposed to be a subsidy and an add-on to what you're already making, that means that, like Kate say, if the bills are already paid, do what the hell you want to do with the money, because that's like you doing everything and you getting a little refund at the end of the month.
Yeah, and
But
I'll tell you, it's a reimbursement for what's been paid out, really.
right.
Yeah.
So if you have done what you're supposed to do with the money that you bring in, and that's gonna, is a reimbursement for you for what you've already done and are doing for the child, then that's fine. Then
Yeah.
you do what you want to do with it. But me as a father, if I'm paying child support and my kids got lights off, we got a problem. Because
Yeah. So
that means that you haven't been managing, like you say, finances good.
yeah.
So here it is. My kids ain't got water to take a bath.
Well, and that's case by case. I'll say that.
Yeah,
That's
case by
case by
case.
case.
Case by
All
case.
right. Because
Yeah.
let's put this scenario out there. Child support doesn't mean anything. Okay, really. Okay, it's a bunch of money that's controlled by the system. First of all,
Right.
let's say if child support is behind, we already are looking at a failed system because those systems don't come together well. That's why I always say the family picture. Oh. Let's go back. Let's go back to our. Let's go back at the top of the hour conversation. Okay, Jay-Z and Beyonce and the kids. That's supposed to be a family picture.
Dynamic family.
A family, yeah. We don't even see that being a family because we don't see all of the parts of the establishment of a family come together. So when they say Jay-Z's mom just got married, they don't say the mom of Jay-Z. They don't say her name because we don't know her. We really don't know her. Because they talked about Jay-Z and Beyonce so much, and we don't even hear Beyonce knows. We don't hear Jay-Z knows. Okay? Why? Because they don't have marriage names. They don't have the title of what an actually family looks like. So that's what I come back to the reality of in the beginning of time, it was supposed to be a family structure, and a family structure consists of a husband and a wife and kids. If we go outside of that structure, the realization of everything working the right way, it's gone out the door. So it's a compromise system all the way around. This is not for anyone to get offended. This is the realization of what family looks like. A mom and a dad is supposed to protect their children. Okay, teens are supposed to be able to function in some areas on their own. So then we won't have child support supporting the need of what we say child. Okay, so sometimes I'll say this: teenagers, if you're 15, 16, you should be getting a job unless there's some disability. You should be getting a job to help support and sustain some of your actual wants. I don't think child support is there to meet the wants and a need of a child. I think it's just there for needs only. Water, food, shelter. Okay. If it's already backed up, I can't say that there's a financial struggle. First of all, we're all hit financially. Okay. It
Kamal
shouldn't be.
said child
I agree with
support
you,
shouldn't
Kamal.
be
Bob. Yeah, child
monitored.
support should not be monitored. The system should not be involved, period. Okay. Really, parents should be able to co-parent on their own. They should be able to actually work out things on their own. And the reality of it is we're dealing with the lifelong problem with the system has always corrupted our people to keep our people separated so the family structure can't get back to normal. Okay. So
I
it's
agree
really
with
the
you.
system has compromised us as a people. Now we have to implement all these different systems involved in our lives because
Open the porch.
we feel like we can't win. The welfare system is so screwed up, y'all. All right. You can't work over so many hours to get welfare. That means don't get it. Just work it out
Work.
today. Okay?
Well,
Everything's screwed up if you're dealing with government.
Yeah,
They
because
tell
it's
us
an
to
oppression.
they tell us to vote Democrat because the government's got our back. They've never had our back.
Kamal said, stay in your lane. When the
oh,
primary
God.
parent pays the light bill, are you dividing the total up and taking a portion out of the child support?
Yeah.
Oh. Come on, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, Kamal. And
Listen,
it's too late. I'm not allowing it. You want to rile me up, but the show is over, Kamal. You
the
should have
show
came
ain't
and
over.
started talking earlier.
It ain't over because we still on this topic. And Kamal, you are absolutely right.
Legacy
Because
is finna go to bed.
9 times out of 10, child support will never cover the half of what it takes to raise a child.
Let me say this, Kate, because this is what he want me to do. If we're going to be fair, and child support is
Only
mostly
thing fair is a square.
and a circle, because it's the only thing that's complete.
Not actually, if you think of the circumference of a circle,
It's not
sometimes some
fair.
people can't actually figure out the area or the perimeter of a
They need some help.
circumference.
They
So
need
I
some
would
help.
say a square is actually the only thing that you can actually get right because the circumference
The
creates a
circumference
radius
is
and the
360.
diameter. And it's
Listen,
really crazy.
let me say this. If we're gonna base child support off of the custodial parent, right? The custodial parent, 99% of the time, whether the child is came into wedlock with a husband and wife or as a bastard. the custodial parent is gonna be given to the mom. Not that the mom is a better choice, not that the father is a lesser choice. If we're going to be choosing the person that should have custody and who should be drawing child support and who shouldn't, if the father is considered to be the person or the mother is considered to be the person who has the financial makeup of taking care of the children, then the child should go with the person who is more financially stable.
And the only reason why I disagree with that is because
because you're a woman.
It's not because I'm a woman. It's not because I'm a woman. Because I do not think that every mother should have their children. There are fathers out here who I do think should have custody because of the dynamics of their situation. But on that point that you made, we have people out here who grind, do 3-4 jobs, and can financially provide for their children. But the reason they can financially provide for their children is because of their grind and their hustle. That grind and hustle takes time. A child does not only need money to provide for them, they need some of that time from that grind and that hustle. There are situations that if that person can grind and hustle and have the money, he can provide for that child. While
Hey, can you turn your video on? We need to see your facial expressions when you're talking.
While the parent who I had my hair all messed up.
Good.
Parent who is not able to go out and grind and hustle in the same capacity to produce the same funds to make the ends meet, that's where the child support should subsidize and help meet. I ain't saying the mother don't need to do her part. I ain't saying the father don't need to do his part. I'm saying what parents need to do is set the ego and the bitterness aside and take care of the child who did not ask to be born.
No argument here.
But has a need.
I want to piggyback on what you're saying, Juicy. Yes, one parent, let's say the mother, for example, might be grinding and got 2 or 3 jobs or 2 jobs and a part-time job and braid hair on the side. Okay. And because of that, she's making $90,000 a year. The husband may have 1 job and making $80,000 a year. So yes, she's technically financially making more money, but because of the funds, it doesn't make her a better parent because she doesn't have enough time.
Right.
So Tony, with you saying that.
So the father may be working 40 hours, but he's making 80. She's working goddamn 120 hours. So she ain't got no time for that child. So yes, she's making more, but she ain't got no time.
But Tony, hold on, okay. But Tony, with that being said, how many times do you think, even with the mother working as hard as you say she's working and bringing in that money, that a court is going to look at her and say, you know what? We think that the child should be with the father because the father works 40 hours a week and has more time to be home with the child compared to you who's working 80 hours a week because you have so many jobs. They're not going to remove the child from the custody of the mother and give it to the father because he has more time on his hand. They're going to still give the child to the mother.
If you want to control what goes on in that household, please stay with that person. Otherwise, help or shut up and stay out the way.
Or Kamal, this is what they're talking about doing right now, because even in the state of Florida right now, a bill was passed last week by DeSantis to where in the state of Florida you can get alimony for the rest of your life as long as that person. You can't do that anymore in the state of Florida. And right now they're mad about it because DeSantis signed that bill. So ain't no more. I think it's gonna be depending on how long you was married. They're gonna divide it by a certain degree, and then they're gonna say this is how long you get to get alimony when you get a divorce. Right now, they're trying to get a bill that's gonna have to go through Congress and everything to where if you're other than being physically abused raped, and things of that nature in a marriage, if you are a person who are asking for divorce, the courts are now second guessing giving away, because women get divorced 80% of the time. They ask for the divorce 80% of the time. And they're walking away with 50% of a man's asset, his pension, his 401k, and all of these things, that now they're reconsidering, saying, if you want a divorce, they trying to get a bill passed that if you want a divorce and you can't prove physical harm from the police coming and got proof, you can get your divorce, but you just can't walk away with the man's asset the way that they've been doing it. They're trying to get this passed. They're actually lobbying for this bill to be passed, because all divorce gives women is the access to be able to say, I don't want to be with a man. She can be with you 2-3 years and have a child from you, and now she can get a divorce, draw alimony, and get child support, and you're stuck paying it. So they're making it. Hold on, Kate. They're making
that's
it.
a good thing.
They're making it to where now people have to really decide how much they really love and want to be in a marriage with you. Because if all I got to do is be with, like Texas and California, if you're married 10 years, I don't care if you are a billionaire, and you don't have a prenup in place, guess what? After 10 years, he or she is entitled to half of your money.
So I need to go get married in Texas?
No, Cali.
Cali. Oh, okay. Cali.
But
just checking.
It's becoming a game for most, and I'm being respectful, because I have my respectful sister on the show right now, not my horrible one, but we have to be real and understand that the way that divorce is right now and child support is right now, it is an incentive for a woman to be divorced. I can walk away, have a child, I can walk away, get half of this man's money, and have him pay me child support. And don't be somebody that got a lot of money. Child support can easily be $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month. I think Tyrese paid like $45,000 a month in child support.
So then I'm going to say to all the sisters out there, please turn y'all TV off, because that is not the way it's supposed to go. Get you a man and love on him. Like the young lady said about knowing the Bible and the scripture and everything about it. It's called, the times are now that we need to stop playing these games and do what our hearts, like God say, to do. And playing this governmental game of even like, to me, all how you just said, legacy, and how things are being depicted in the society is just another way to oppress our black men, to make our black men feel inferior and looked down upon, as if they're not able to provide or even raise a child. I do believe our black men are able to be fathers. They are the best that our children need in life and in society. However, we can't keep acting like our mothers aren't a part of it too. They need both of them.
Yeah.
And we need to be better as a people, to do better for each other and for our children.
Yep.
Because
And as I mentioned at the beginning, and I'm adding on, Juicy. Okay.
no, keep going, keep building.
The family perspective and perception has to be brought back in our community, and we cannot wait on the government to make justifications to make that happen. And we can't make reconciliation the plan to make it happen. We have to make it happen without talking about it. We've got to just make it happen. We talk about it so much that we don't even see that it can happen, because we talk about it so much as it's the problem that we face. And we face it so much that it's like, okay, well, we can break this stuff and be real with ourselves to not allow this to be our problem anymore in society. Okay, we can break it. The government doesn't want us to see it broken because really it's a lot of money played into it being a broken system. And y'all know a broken system always gives rewards to a lot of people that are involved in the broken system. A broken system doesn't. Yeah, and I've learned some advice from Trump. Okay, Donald Trump. Okay, I respect some of his business skills. Okay, I respect it. Okay, let me tell you one thing I picked up on when Hillary Clinton said, "Well, all Donald Trump wants to do is see something fall so he can restore it and build it back up." Okay, well, she was stupid to say that. Okay, she
Gave him
really was
power.
stupid to say that. Why? Because a business person wants to restore something that they see
It's
is
failing.
destroyed. That's what a business person does. They'll take something that they see bad and turn it into good. Okay. I'm not agreeing with everything people do. Okay. I'm not saying I agree with everything President Donald Trump did. I'm just making a point of restoration in our community. And it's really not restoration because I don't think we had restoration at the beginning. Why? Because we were chained up, we were in bondage. We just need to notice the freedom that we actually have to actually activate the power we have with our freedom. Okay?
Hey, Donovan.
Yes.
I don't mean to cut you off, my brother. We're going to have to save some of that for another show. We got to get up out of it. We done ran over, and I want to get everybody chance to get them a nice sleep because I'm damn sure finna go. But I want to just thank everybody for participating tonight. Tayamo, appreciate you coming in. We know you with family, so we're gonna go ahead and let DP let them know, baby.
Yes, sir. Hey, it's DP, Donovan Phipps. You can reach me at donovanphipps.com. My Instagram tag is DPhipsLife. And you know, we live in the life right here on the ATL show. I love you all for keeping it real and keeping it blessed and keeping it real. The street reporter and the minister, not only representing right here at the ATL, representing at all times. Thank you.
We appreciate you, DP.
Yes,
We're gonna
sir.
go ahead and let
Love
the
y'all.
juices. We're gonna definitely let the juices, cakes in the business. Let them know, cake.
I need him to write mine. You gotta redo it, cause good dog. Let me see if I can flow him. You can find me here every Tuesday and Friday on the ATL show. Hit me up on Facebook, Nicole Purse, Instagram, Miss Beautiful, or TikTok. I don't know why I stood up. Miss Juicy Cakes. On my website, you can set up a consultation or purchase some tea and some other products that we've added on for any of your homeopathic needs. We'll be sure and thankful to help you.
All right.
I thought that was a white woman.
She slid, Donovan. She slid in on a rainbow. She slid right on in on a rainbow. All right.
Oh my goodness! Don't let the hair fool you.
That rainbow can turn into a thunderstorm.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said, don't let the hair fool you.
It was an insider just now. You'll be all right.
Listen. We're going to go ahead and bring out the man that makes it possible for us to do our thing here in the ATL world, in this ATL land, for our ATL fans. The one and only, pain in my ass, most argumentative person I know. Bring your ass back on. The boss man, the one and only. AB, let them know.
First and foremost, I don't know who you're talking about, but I just want to say, first of all, Donovan, thank you for last minute coming onto the show and pouring into us the way that you do. And we love you and we appreciate you. And as always, you know, you're a great asset to the show. We love you.
I love you all too.
But yes, I'm Anthony Brown. You can find me on all social medias, all platforms on the Anthony Brown or the Anthony Brown Show. And that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as YouTube. You can follow my Facebook page is Anthony the Writer. I'm doing a little something here and there on TikTok as well as Facebook Reels. Not too much. But the words that I say to live by, I live by them, and so should you. And that's you got to grind until you shine.
All right. Y'all know who it is. The one and only. Legacy the Great. You can find me on Facebook up under our Dream Williams. You can hit me on YouTube at Legacy the Great. My email account is legacyunlocked@mail.com. Business purpose only. Please reach out to me dealing with filing motions and things for you in the court. And if you're also having problems getting inside your vehicle locked out, hit me up, 229-630-7615. Also at 561-907-9129. Donovan, don't leave yet because I want to ask you because I need you. But I want to just let everybody know coming up soon, I'm going to be hosting a show through the ATL show, which is, we're going to have an all-male show. And we're going to be diving into some things that, specifically that I want to discuss. And we're going to bring a different touch to the ATL show, all male view. And Mr. Donovan, when I have this, I definitely would love for you to be one of my participants on the show. And we're gonna have some different topics like how we just did today. And we're going to give a viewpoints on what we see and what's going on in society these days, from women, from politics, all different things. And I just want everybody to know that we're gonna definitely be popping. We're gonna definitely make the L big this time.
I have a question for you. I have a question. I know we're ending. You said male show. You know we live in a different world, okay? You know that, right?
You know my name Legacy, right?
Can I bring
and on
Adam?
that note,
Get the
Can I bring Adam? It's my white boy look. Can I bring Adam? Can I bring Adam? Can I bring Adam?
ATL! Ho!
Man, this is
28 grams of moss, 28 grams of moss. Little beef of the kings, little beef of the kings. Y'all ain't ready for this, y'all ain't ready for this. Yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. Don't know why you cats wanna wait to beat with the sleep just to give you cats a chance to eat. What you got for early getting finished the plate. Now that I'm back, you rap cats are gonna have to wait. Been gone a whole year, still nobody got the leadership or the heart to even feel my spot. I'm the champion, must I say it again? The best in this rap game and I continue to win. See, I'm allergic to that, losing makes me sneeze. Like you phony rap cat, about to make me squeeze. Bring your whole crew, nigga, I'ma swallow that. So when it pops off, ASC is on a holler back. It's 28 grams, nigga. I've been running this shit. So anything in front of me can fuck around and get hit. I follow you rap cats, so you niggas my sons and I'm the truth. Why? Cause I'm the motherfucking champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. I'm the champ, yeah. Still rep the A&T, but I carry my throne. God bless as a child, that didn't hold it home. And I am that child, as you niggas can see. Cause ain't another rapper out there better than me. And this goes to anybody trying to steal my spot. I'm number one in this shit, so number one you not. So when you can't scream, y'all is the best, I laugh. Like really, you cats don't really know the how. You do the math, and that's yourself who really great. Then add it up and watch it equal up to 28. So that's the little cats know who really the done. I'm overall, I let you niggas fight for number one. See, I put that on my life, put that on my son. Gotta stay the best of people licking Trey Lund. If I throw it on the key, you can put that on my heart and I'm the God. Cause I'm the motherfucking champion.